Hello, Divine Feminine. I had the dice out here and I rolled them and I just didn't like any of that. So maybe at the end it was just giving me like all vowels. I'm trying this new angle and it's a little bit much here. Okay, so I'm gonna pull signifiers. I'm getting this really weird energy. Everybody loves when I use this deck. It's a very rare deck. It's the David Bowie deck. 10 of Cups, the Starman, the Chariot. Oh, wow. Bottom of the deck. 8 of Pentacles. So interesting because I went to sleep last night thinking about that card. That card is a card of self-mastery. So I was sitting here meditating, shuffling these cards. The Hierophant fell out on the floor. That is a beautiful Chariot card. So one of the kind of things I've learned about interesting energy about the Chariot is that it is a representation of our Merkaba, our galactic vessel of movement through time and space in the universe. I am getting big movement here. A lot of it seems to be coming from the fact that you're quite self-content and you're activating this masculine. That's why I wanted to use this deck. I forgot though. That's the energy I am getting. So I can't put that there. Okay. God, I just feel like you're like, look at Chariot again. This person is coming towards you. Oh, Spirit, what are you telling me right now? Oh my gosh. So one of the, oh man, don't fight, girl. Don't struggle. Don't struggle. One of the things that I've learned recently is about these gold colored cards in the tarot. The gold colored cards are, I guess, very positive. This came from another reader, so I know that there is a significance to the gold in the pentacle. And so let's start at the beginning. I feel like you, in a desire to move into a very fulfilled state, perhaps did something quite unusual for you. It may have been a move. I don't think this was thought out or strategic. I really don't. It's up to you to decide if it is or was. I think you desired to take your power back. And whatever it is that you needed to do, interesting. Oh my gosh. Whatever it is that you needed to do was done in a way where it would be known. They're showing me like the crest of a hill or the top of a mountain. It's like you wanted it to be known that you had reached this milestone, okay? You had reached the goal that you had been seeking for quite a while. And I believe that it is this 10 of Cups here. It's like you wanted to learn that you're in charge of your emotions, that you're in control of your emotions. And it is like, I'm getting like this, you flipped a switch and it like all unlocked, right? All of the little contraption unlocked. This is a weird reading. Okay, so inside, I feel like you just were really quite done with the situation in a way. I think you know that it's like, this isn't something you can cord cut, or this isn't something that's ever going to be gone out of your life. I just really feel like you now are looking to the future. And part of you maybe felt like there had been enough time for a new beginning and it hadn't come, or you were seeing possibly things that you didn't like from this other person, or they may be in a different relationship and it hadn't ended. You know, I think you were in the process of waiting for something to happen. And I think you all of the sudden became this Queen of Wands and we're just like, no, that's all. We're done. And I don't think it was sneaky or manipulative. I don't think it was. I just think it's like you had run through the options that you were seeing as viable for the future. I think you came to the end of that list of choices, right? That's how this is coming across to me. It could be different. It could just be that you come to a point where you're like, I need to move on. I know I've felt that pressure of like, I've been in this space for too long, and that resonates with me. And I feel that desire to move and some kind of execution of it. It could have been energetic. It could have been, you know, actually communicating with this person. It could have been like a physical move or plans even. Because I do see you asking this question of like, if I really did love and care for myself, is this what I would be doing, or would I be doing something else? I feel that here, and I feel that may have been the shift. Some of you, since brothers and sisters came up, some of you may have had family stuff that came up that is, it's like they're giving me a weird reflection in a mirror of like, you were able to look at like your family members and kind of say, well, is this really who I want to be? Is this really what I want? So it's no put down on them, but it's like, I feel like they assisted you in knowing maybe there's some kind of toxic relationship around you and your family, and you're just like, oh, I feel like I'm repeating this pattern. That's something else it could be, because I see this Queen of Wands with her sunflower and her wand, and it is like, no, I am not going to repeat this pattern. It could even be looking at your past and being like, I don't choose that anymore. And it's interesting because we don't have any of the twos here. We do have the Lovers, which is a choice card, and you're choosing yourself here. I also want to say, in your hearts, both of your hearts, I feel that there's a very deep recognition of love and the beauty when you can actually see how much this counterpart of yours helped you. Okay, so this message is interesting. It's like they helped you in the creation process, partially by ripping down what was false, by ripping down even what you may have been trying to create. I feel like you might not be there yet, but at the end of this process, you're really going to recognize the incredible value, and actually it's like a bravery that it took for them to walk away from you. Because this is a crazy message, please don't get mad at me. It's like they were not going to allow you to build the same old tired structure that you'd been used to building. And this message has been coming through for me for so long that they may not have even known why they did the thing that they did, because really what they were trying to get you to see was yourself, right? And you've seen it. You're seeing it now. This is either just happening or it's about to happen. And when we can look at ourselves without all of the judgment and fear and prejudice of the lens, right? I talk about the lens of that you look through, like your eyes being a window, and anything on your lens colors everything you see outside. And so I feel like you cleanse the doors of perception, right? I think that's Jim Morrison. That you were able to look in the mirror and see, it's like how you were deluding yourself that you were happy. Okay, because the Nine of Cups, it is a wonderful card. These are two cards of celebration, and even this to a degree. And look at the gold here. The gold is all over. It's like your person ripped down what you thought your happiness would be. And you're like, how could they do this to me? But at the same time, you were doing that to them. And I know it seems like if they walked away or they did the hurting, that it shouldn't be vice versa. I swear to God, I did a reading just like this a little while ago. Okay, so now here we have these cards of them slowly coming to give you something. And there is a real beauty in this, that I'm going to get another card here, but what they're giving to you, the beauty of it is that at one time, they really couldn't understand why you valued them at all. And now they do. Or they're getting there. Yeah, the cleaning up card fell in my lap. They're it's a really big shift. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really big shift. Truth be told, I love that card. Community. Go the distance. No place like home. In between worlds. The flamingo does keep coming up in my readings. Let's get the meaning of these cards. It's like, you know, to me this card is about, I have never really learned the traditional meanings of this deck, but it's like wisdom standing on this mask, right? With kind of a portal to another world. And I feel like you are really in the process of stripping down all of the decorations you've built up around you. Like a decorator crab. Like, we all, our egos put all of these things. Could be energetically, could be financially, it could be beauty-wise, external, clothes, possessions, homes, cars, anything. All these things on us to, what's a beautiful message, to make ourselves appear valuable. I feel like you're in the process of really knowing, you know, for some of you, they're saying that you're a child of God, or that you are directly source, or that you are the creator of the reality here. There's this knowing of in you, whatever religion or spirituality you practice, is that you have this eternal spark and flame in you that it is just valuable as it is. It's a beautiful, wow, I'm gonna cry. This transformation, and this is the 11 card, is really profound. If you haven't gone through this yet, you know, oh my God. Wow. That's another 11 card. You see how this is kind of fitting into what I was talking about? I know it's kind of the opposite of ripping something down, but it's like he has built this structure for you to be safe to do this transformation work in. And he did that. Oh. Wow. You are never alone. Make your dreams real. He's kind of watching you do this, making your dreams real through this transformation. And, you know, you two really know that you belong to each other. It's like these two otters make one heart. And again, with the feathers, right? This wisdom that you hold, that you've actually embraced and are surrendering to now. Wow, Spirit, thank you. That was an insanely beautiful message right there for me. So I do feel very strongly that they are planning to come to you. I feel like right now they're kind of looking at something. They're looking at something. Let's find out what they're looking at. So once you like totally figure out your worth and your, you know what makes you valuable is you and not anything else. They're actually showing me a 0. That's the message I'm always getting. Diamond and brown. It's like make the spiritual practical. Stop getting lost in the mind candies. Stop getting lost. Like here, be here now. Do what you need to do. Once you totally figure this out, that's interesting because I just said structure. This is not my favorite card. Again with the Sisters card. You're going to totally figure out your worth. You're going to totally figure out your value. And you're going to be it's going to be a permanent change. You know, once you go forward on this journey, you can't ever go back, but you definitely can get lost in the memories. And this is a very profound change. And you have an 11 here too, with an 8, which is crazy. Okay, so they're looking at, I do feel an energy here. The Page of Pentacles is a very steady energy. To me, the Chariot isn't necessarily so steady. It could feel like there's a possibility of like an in and out again. I am who I am. That's what that's saying. It's like, he doesn't know what to do. I want you, but I shouldn't. Love doesn't feel like enough. I wish you wouldn't push me away. I don't trust you. Love will keep us together. To me, right now, this doesn't feel like a permanent union. It does feel like there will be communication. I feel like there will be some uncovering of truths that haven't been uncovered before. I think you're going to be a little bit surprised at what comes out. And then that will be a big step forward. It may make him feel so vulnerable that he can't hold it, you know? I had to let you go so I could find my true self. I can't make you happy. Why is it that you love me? Oh, man. I'm blocked. I mean, he really, really misses you, but he also still doesn't feel worthy of you in every way. And the real way that could be presenting here is financial. It could be with this red here that it's a lot about childhood trauma and that he still has wounds about carried from, he couldn't make his mother happy. And this could be a very big problem. You know, that healing of the parent wound, right, is such a profound and pivotal moment. It's not one moment either. I think it continues on. It's like, whoever, you know, this parent really holds a key to you feeling okay. And they withheld because they were withheld from, right? It's just ancestral trauma. And you have to grow in your spiritual awareness to the degree that you can see the whole thing from above. And that's a very huge amount of growth. You have to grow and let go of your ego for a period of time to say, maybe this wound really doesn't have anything to do with me. And he's there at that precipice, I feel like. You may have a little bit more work to do on this, because I see it's like right there. It's like being discovered. And part of that has to come from being in a cocoon. It's like you can't, at least this is my experience, maybe other people can, but, and the people I've talked to and worked with, it's like you can't be constantly triggered by other people and be doing that deep, vulnerable inner work. It gets to a point where you can do that, but I think at that very first, when you're really overcoming that, I feel like I'm going on too long about this, but it's important because it's mirrored here that you are letting go of the falseness that you had originally believed was true. And that is drawing him back to you. And they're always behind us, so he's going to be going through that too. And he may have to go through a period where he's alone again. And always remember, we have free will. We don't have to do the healing if we don't want to. I find that many people do not want to do it, and that's just how it is. And that can be another thing that you have to get over. It's like, to be honest, here's my honest, true learning and understanding, is that they don't really ever have to choose to do the healing. They just kind of do it. They don't really think about things the way that we do. But if we haven't fully done it, and then they reflect back to us that we can create a whole nother round of the same thing again, right? So he wants to face you. He wants to get over this fear that of revealing his innermost thoughts and feelings. He's fearful that you won't forgive him. You know, you guys deeply desire to, or at least you do, to like let down the guard all the way and be able to speak your truth and to hug and to allow all the things that have been held back for so long to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be, you know, there is very much this. Did I get these cards? I didn't. There's just very much this reunion energy of what will happen once we come back together. What will it be better? That's cute. Wow. There's a fear that things will be worse. I don't think they will be. I think you're gonna discover. I love this card. It's 31, and it's always about understanding that true self, understanding your value, understanding. It's like the red of the root chakra trauma opens and you get to see the gold, the solar plexus, the, you know, just how special you really are. And that's the heart. So, you know, it is like you want to open the doorway to your heart. And there's a fear that he won't. There's a fear from you that he won't. There's a fear from him, that you will not forgive, that there will be rejection. And if there are those kind of fears still, again, that will push you apart, okay? So it does look like there will be communication. There may be a physical meeting, a reunion, some kind of, I remember, like, I don't know, I want to say like 6 to 9 months ago, I constantly had these kind of messages. And I felt like for a lot of people, that didn't really happen to the extent where things changed. And we really had to go inside and work more, or work for a long period of time. Okay, let's get some advice. I hope this message has served you. I really feel like you would benefit greatly right now from doing shadow work, doing any kind of healing work on yourself. Prompts that would, you know, when you really think about getting together and revealing your true self, what are the fears that come up? Trying to get into that state and write them out and do that inner child healing, right? Because when we connect to our emotions, we're connected to our inner child. Our inner child holds our emotions. And I don't know, I got to the point where I almost purposely just try to trigger myself all the time. That would sound crazy to some people, but it's like, you've got to work through all of those things so much. You really have to dig out the deep, the very deep, hidden. It's like they're saying shapeshifter. The shapeshifter in you could be people pleaser, it could be avoidant, it could be all sorts of different things. Anything, the coping mechanisms, the addictions, the however it is that you don't want to face things. I'm just going to read them all today. So we have sexual union on the bottom of the deck. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes, my beloved. Though we may be physically apart, I don't think it's for long. Spiritually, we are always united, and love transcends space and time. You may identify with one pile over. I'll just do 3 piles, but I think they're for all of us. Like, all of them are for all of us. If you want these energies, if you think you need to work with these energies, just call them into you. Ask the element, the Ascended Master, or the Dragon to please work with your energy. Coaxinite, new beginnings, pink tourmaline, forgiveness, and malachite, healing. So clearly we are focusing on the heart chakra here. And we have rites of passage on the bottom with cooperite. If you like working with stones, then get the stones. Earth Dragon clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded, be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. Like I said, you can move forward in life. Definitely with the double chariot, we're moving forward. Earth and Fire Dragon works with you to clear the 5th dimensional ley lines. It is time for service. When you give, you receive. This also may indicate you being drawn to a certain place to travel to. Then the Orange Dragon, and this is one of the dragons, I think it's the only dragon that has like the necklaces, the beads on it. Brings soul families and communities together. And he also had community. Spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. Silver Lunar Dragon. I saw this when I was shuffling. Bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. So you may feel very drawn to like feminine rituals or practices right now, or expanding your feminine energy. All right, Ascended Masters, the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Lots of divine feminine energy. Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be loved. Do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. Wow. This one's very important. Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Wow. 4 women. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. And then Kali Ma, holy amethyst. Wow. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So face your fears and become very committed and dedicated to your own dreams and overcoming the limitations that your ancestors put on you, as they're saying with these skulls here. Some of you may be called to Hawaii. I feel that very strongly. Some of you may be called to Sedona, Arizona. I'm feeling that very strongly. Some of you may be called to take some kind of religious, what do they call them? Oh, gosh. I met someone a couple of years ago. They did this every summer. They walked in Spain on the passage it was a religious rite of passage. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but it's like it's in Europe. And they walk from like place to place, and they all just like carry their stuff, and they sleep in wherever they live. Sometimes it's monasteries, sometimes it's like hotels, and very interesting. Some of you may be called to do that, or you may be called to dedicate more of your time, money, influence to those that you feel need it. I think for some it could be animals, for some it can be women, for some it could be in a foreign country. Not sure why they're giving this to me today, but I feel like the feminine energy is rising and becoming much more powerful day by day, and that we will begin shifting very much the landscape of the world to be one of more of care and compassion and the ability to speak our own truth into the world and have it be not gaslit and not, torn down as whatever, however people dismiss women. So I hope that helps you. And thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It was 38. That's 11:11. Bye for now.